This material is a part of the Oklahoma Historical Society's Oral History Program Living Legends collection. This material is a Frontiers of Science Chamber of Commerce forum and a reception to honor the astronauts Commander Eugene Cernan and Colonel Tom Stafford. This reception took place on July the 8th, 1966. The man officiating over the ceremonies is Mayor George Shirk. This material is being re-recorded on September the 23rd, 1985 for inclusion in the permanent collections of the Oral History Program by Judith Michener.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me out there, Roy? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, General Jones, Mayor Rader. Us mayors always have to recognize each other, you know. Distinguished guests, this is a great day for Oklahoma City. For you visitors, you'll be pleased to know this is the largest luncheon crowd that has ever gathered in Oklahoma City. It is a great day. We're delighted. You know, Dr. Bika, as I think, as to my part in the program, I realize that man often does live by form rather than by substance. I have particular reference to this philosophy of the key to the city. When we realize that in the olden medieval times, it was necessary for the mayor of the city to meet a distinguished guest at the gates and give him a key. Because without a key, he literally couldn't get into town. Because there was a gate and a wall that surrounded that city and protected it from unknown dangers. May I point out to you, sir, that through your work and those of your colleagues, Commander Cernan and Colonel Stafford, the idea of a wall and a barrier and all of those matters are as remote to us as the pyramids are remote to us in point of time. Yet, by some oddity, it's still appropriate that the mayor of a city extend a key as the official form of our welcome. I extend it to you three gentlemen in that sense. Dr. Bika, in the thought that this is a key to a non-existent gate in a wall that is indeed non-existent around a city that is indeed most existent, I would like to ask you, sir, to come with me and let me formally make you a now you indeed, sir, are able to enter that non-existent gate to a 1966 style existent city. Colonel Stafford, I would like very much to ask you, sir, to accept this key from us here in Oklahoma City. I have secured Mayor Rader's permission. I've assured him that by your having this key will in no sense mean that we've annexed the city of Weatherford. And Commander Cernan, I give you this key with some trepidation. I watched you perform coming in the motorcade. And as far as I'm concerned, we can't get you out of town quick enough. Because you stay any longer, I'll be out of a job next April. We're glad you're here.
Thank you, Mr. Young, Colonel Stafford, Commander Cernan, ladies and gentlemen. We are living in an age of scientific knowledge and achievement unparalleled in the history of the world, an era in which a manned space flight covering 1.5 billion miles can be completed in the brief span of 3 days, an era in which major scientific discoveries bordering on the miraculous are being made almost faster than the scientific community can assimilate them. While most of us merely stand in awe of these accomplishments on the four frontiers of science, our special guests today are bold participants in this scientific drama. Astronauts Stafford and Cernan perform their brilliant feats from countdown to splashdown before millions of television viewers. Our speaker today is a private hero working in private industry, but he works for the same ultimate goal, the betterment of mankind. Dr. Arthur M. Bika directs one of the largest private research efforts in the world. He is Vice President in charge of the General Electric Research and Development Center, or as they say in the trade, he is VP of the GE R&D. The center has a staff of 1,800 men and women, including some 700 scientists and engineers. He is the latest of the distinguished scientists to hold similar positions in General Electric. His predecessors include such famous persons as Whitney, Coolidge, Suits, and that engineering genius, Charles Proteus Steinmetz, who has been called the father of modern electricity. The fact that our speaker has been chosen to follow these distinguished men of science by a company that owes much of its progress to scientific achievement is indicative of the scope of his abilities. Dr. Bika joined General Electric in 1950. As a working scientist, he became widely known for his work on the physics and chemistry of polymers and the effects of high-energy radiation on plastic materials. Dr. Bika has contributed to the success of many scientific ventures and projects, ranging from improved man-made diamonds to selective membranes that behave much like human lung tissue, and from important new kinds of fuel cells to a completely new basic chemical technique called oxidative coupling. I'm sure that all of you are more anxious to hear what this learned gentleman has to say than to hear what I have to say about him. So at this time, it is my pleasure to present to you Dr. Bika speaking on the excitement of discovery. Dr. Bika.